our lesson, we'll work on our intermediate course, and here, third unit, third part, 3.3, vocabulary and skills development. Now here we have to learn a lot of words and improve our other skills. Goals: recognize complex noun phrases and use compound adjectives. Reading and speaking, complex noun phrases. Exercise 1. Work with a partner. Have you ever done any of these things? How did you feel? Pause the video and try to answer these questions in a written form. Now let's look at the possible answers. Well, I have taken a very important exam, well, around 3 or 4 years ago, and I felt really scared because yes, all exams are all important things in life they're scary, they're stressful. People, no matter how confident they are, they get to feel a little bit of stress. B. Made a speech or presentation to a large number of people. Well, it depends on what you mean by a large number of people. I didn't make speech or presentation in front of, well, more than 20 or 30 people. I didn't get to have this chance. Maybe like up to 100 people. And well, you just feel, again, you feel nervous. You may feel excited, but it's like mostly being nervous. And now even I'm just reaching thousands or maybe like 100 or 1,000 or 10,000 people, and I just went through these emotions, and well, I don't feel nervous anymore. I just feel normal feelings. Third, sung in public, it was never. Well, except if by public we mean like more than 5 people. On 19th December we went to karaoke with my team members, and where I sung in public for the first time and for the last time probably. And D, I had an interview for a job you really wanted. Well, I never had a job interview, only once. It was like 4 years ago. And then I decided that I will never have an interview in the future. And then that time it was not that serious, or it was not that important, or it was not scary because I didn't need the job. I just didn't care enough. Exercise 2A. Read the information in the Unlock the Code box about recognizing complex noun phrases. Unlock the code. Recognizing complex noun phrases. Sometimes the subject of a sentence can be very long or contain another verb. As you see here, subject is making a speech, main verb is yes, and the other parts of the speech are sometimes hard to do. And as you see, there are multiple verbs, and we have to understand complex noun phrases. And if we don't understand complex noun phrases, here for example, making a speech and hard to do, we don't get to understand complex sentences. Here, second part is learning these new techniques helps in later life. One of the test groups experienced symptoms of stress. One group who took part in this experiment were told nothing. When you read, it's important to be able to identify the subject and the main verb quickly. And here, as you just see, main verbs are in present simple and past simple, passive voice, and you just have to try to find out the main verb, and after this, main subject. Exercise 2B. Look at the statements, underline the subject and circle the verbs. Looking at the sentences, just find the subject and verb on your own. Pause the video and try to do this exercise in a written form. Now let's look at the answers. Here, 1, stress can actually be good for you. So noun is stress, B is verb. 2, taking an important exam often causes people to lose sleep. Well, it's taking an important exam is noun, causes is verb. 3, speaking in front of a large group of people can be very stressful. Speaking in front of a large group of people is subject, and B is verb. And 4, people who are most under stress show physical signs such as shaking or sweating. It's subject, people who are most under stress, and the verb is show. Exercise 3A. Look at the photos and the title of the article. What do you think the article will say? Discuss with a partner. Now pause the video, and as you are set, look at the photo and the title and try to guess what the article is about. Exercise 3B. Read the article where your ideas in the article. Now, after reading the article, just see whether the ideas in the article and your ideas match, and how far do they match or how close they are. And let's look at the answers. As you see, the article describes an experiment to find out how a person's attitude to stress affects them physically. It talks about sign of being stressed, how many people think it's bad for you. Recent experiments show that it depends on how you feel about stress and that it isn't necessarily bad for you. Exercise 4A, look at the numbered sentences in the article, underline the subject and circle the verb. Now you have to go back to article and do this exercise on your own in a written form. And now let's look at the answers one by one. Subjects and verbs. 1. Putting reduce your stress levels into Google is subject, gets you 34 million hits. It's gets is a verb. 2. Titles like 23 scientifically proven ways to reduce stress right now is subject, are is verb. And 3. Experiments with a technique called the social stress test, subject, the suggest is verb. 4. The dry mouth and beating heart is subject and are is verb. 5. The people who had been told nothing is subject and showed is verb. And 6. These results, subject, have is verb. Exercise 4B. Decide if these statements are true or false. Correct the false statements. Now you have to go back to the article and decide the statements are true or false. Now let's look at the answers. 1. It's difficult to find information on the internet about how to reduce your stress. It's definitely false because the text includes an example which resulted in 30 million answers. 2. The social stress test is a way of measuring stress. It's true. 3. The signs of stress shows that you are ready for a difficult experience. It's true. 4. Only one group had some damage to their body. It is true. 5. Some people think these results are difficult to prove. It's false. The text says the results have been confirmed by other tests also. Exercise 5. Work with a partner, discuss the questions. Now pause the video and try to answer these questions in a written form. And now let's look at the possible answers. 1. How would you feel in the situations in the social stress test? Well, I wouldn't feel that nervous. I think, as far as I think, I wouldn't feel. Maybe I would feel like it just doesn't, well, it's not dependent on the situation that you're in. It's like, it just depends on the feeling that you have at that time, which is unpredictable. Second, do you agree that stress can sometimes be good for you? I totally agree with that because there's a biological system called hormesis in which you just have to stress yourself, and little bits of stress to your body, it will make your immune system grow stronger. It makes you, well, it's a concept called anti-fragile, and you just get stronger by little dose of stress, little dose of discomfort. 3. How do you feel after a challenging experience? Well, I would just feel relieved mostly because, well, it means that I went through this and it's just already behind, and there's no need to stress even more. It's just time to relax and time to feel relief. Vocabulary and speaking. Compound adjectives. Now we just look at the complex adjectives and understand and learn new vocabulary. Exercise 6A. Look at these compound adjectives from the article and find which nouns do they describe. And here A, stress producing, and B, 5 minutes. Pause the video and try to do this exercise on your own. And as you see, answers A, stress producing is actions, and B, 5 minutes is talk to a group of experts. Exercise 6B. Can you think of compound adjectives which match definitions 1 to 6? Pause the video and try to find the compound adjectives that will fit these definitions. And now let's check the answers together. 1. Describe somebody who uses their left hand to write. It is left-handed. 2. Another word for beautiful or handsome. It is good-looking. 3. The opposite of part-time. It is full-time. 4. An adjective which means that something lasts 2 minutes. It's 2 minutes. And 5. Describes a shirt which has short sleeves. Short-sleeved. And 6 describes a person who works hard. It is hard working. Exercise 6C. Read the information in the vocabulary focus box about compound adjectives and check your answers. Here you just have to go through compound adjectives and learn how they are formed. And here, vocabulary focus compound adjectives. Compound adjectives are generally made up of two words, usually either belonging to a single word or joined by a hyphen. There are some of the most common forms they take. And here, as you see, compound nouns, compound adjectives are formed from two different words, and they're just used together or written together or just joined by a hyphen. And here the common forms are ending in past participle, so it ends in mostly in ed form. It's left-handed or short-sleeved, or ending in ing, good-looking, hardworking, or ending in a noun, 2 hour or full time. Exercise 7a. Add a word from the box to make a compound adjective. Pause the video and try to finish and try to complete these compound adjectives using words in a box. Now let's check the answers together. 1. Easygoing. 2. Homemade. 3. 5-star. 4. Overpriced. 5. 500 page. 6. Second-hand. 7. English speaking. 8. Well known. Exercise 7b. Work with a partner. What do you think the compound adjectives mean? Now try to pause the video and try to find the meaning of these compound adjectives. And now let's check the answers. Easygoing means calm, relaxed, and not easily upset by what others do. Homemade means made at home, not bought in a shop. 3. 5-star means a star system which represents how good something is. 5 stars is usually the maximum and is very good. 4. Overpriced means having a price that is higher than its real value. 500 page means of a book having 500 pages. Second-hand means already used or owned by somebody else. English speaking means of a people, country, etc. able to speak English. Well-known means known by a lot of people. Exercise 7c. Listen to a marked stress in each one. So now you have to listen to the words and just try to learn how to pronounce them in a right way.
Audio 3.6. 1.
Easygoing.
2.
Homemade.
3.
5-star.
4.
Overpriced.
5.
500 page.
6.
Second-hand.
7.
English speaking.
8.
Well known.
Exercise 7d. Listen again and practice saying the words. You have to listen to the audio again and just practice saying words on your own individually. Exercise 8. Complete the questions with the compound adjectives in exercise 7a. Sometimes more than one answer is possible. Now pause the video and try to fill these gaps with the compound adjectives that we format ourselves in exercise 7a, and do this exercise in a written form. Now let's check the answers. 1. Have you ever bought a second-hand car? 2. When you were young, did you ever wear short-sleeved clothes? 3. Would you rather read a 500-page novel or watch a 6-hour film? 4. When was the last time you thought something was overpriced in a shop? 5. Who is the most well-known musician in your country? Do you like him? Her? Why? Why not? 7. Have you ever stayed in a 5-star hotel? Where and when? 8. Can you name 5 English-speaking countries? Exercise 9. Work with a partner. Ask and answer the questions in exercise 8. Report the most interesting answers to the class. Now you have to talk to your partner, work on your speaking, and try to answer these questions individually. Pause the video and try to do this exercise in a written form too. And now let's check the possible answers. Well, I have never bought a car. I don't have a car. I'm not intending to have a car because, well, cars is a waste of money and a waste of time, waste of resources. I don't want to have cars. I may just use taxi or public transport. 2, when you were young, did you ever wear short sleeve clothes? Yeah, of course, as everyone, I wore them in summer because our summers are really hot and you cannot live, you cannot survive with long sleeved clothes. And I would rather read a 500-page book, 500-page novel because, well, it just gives you more, it just is more academically or practically useful because you can just feel people, you can increase your levels of imagination, you can learn a lot of words, and it just, in all sides, it's just better option. That's the end of our today's lesson. See you in the next lessons.